No.
Howdy, everybody. Somebody's echoing. I hear it.
That's about
How is
it.
everybody?
It should be fixed.
Good.
Good.
Living the dream.
Every day's the best day. How about you, Jet? How's the morning over there?
Ooh, it's a lot later than it usually is
Oh,
because
yeah.
of like savings time. Yeah, so I got an extra hour of sleep, so I can't complain.
That's great. Glad to hear it. You guys are going to need it. Because last time, when we left off, you got in the middle of an altercation between two groups of people. It ended up with everybody involved except for you and the mother of a small child being dead. The lady who discovered it was not her son that she was trying to protect brought you to an oasis with a campsite around it that had been being rented out. You hold up there just to kind of get some information because you had a lead that um, the halfling who was posing as a child came from somewhere to the north of this camp. And through some detective work, you followed a trail that was normally unseen by the naked eye. But you followed it and you ended up outside of a swirling maelstrom in the middle of the desert, that everything seemed to be pointing you in that direction. The way that you found yourself there revealed that the maelstrom was actually just an illusion. It was actually a small hole in the ground that was being guarded by two men who looked and dressed very similarly to the halfling man and his companions. So you went there very unceremoniously. You tripped right up the stairs and fell in an attempt to disguise yourselves as one of them. And Zarl'Gug went pretty ham, I would say is a good way of putting it, and critted the one guy, knocked the other guy out. You guys easily dispatched the two guys who were guarding this hole. You lifted up the latch, looked down. It went deep, 30, 40 feet down. Um, upon hearing, I believe it was Titus who heard chanting emanating from the bottom of this pit. It was at that point you decided to make your way down into the pit. Titus agreed and said that he was going to make sure that no one followed you down the ladder. So the three of you climbed down the ladder with Titus guarding the entrance and made your way into a large room, a large cavernous room, maybe 80 or 90 feet long, at the far end of which you passed your perception checks on this already, but you notice that there in the far room, amongst so the room itself isn't really a room, it's more of like a makeshift natural cave, um, but there's tents and belongings that are strewn throughout the place. It's in complete disrepair. Um, and on that far side, like I said, about 80 feet away, there were, you counted six people. Well, seven people. The six people, three of which were chanting in a triangular pattern, right? Two of them had their backs to you facing what was happening, and one of them had what appeared to be a ceremonial dagger drawn up, holding it over the top of a woman who is secured to the altar and appears to be conscious and struggling. So that's where we're going to pick up. Like I said, you guys are probably about 80 feet or so away from the closest two, who are, at least as far as you know, unaware of your presence. Then there's about a 5-foot raise where there's two more men. There's another man chanting on the backside, further away, facing you. And then there's the other man with the dagger, who's up in the center, almost to the edge of the raised platform. There's another raised altar with a woman.
What is the
struggling
distance between the two unaware people and the two people that are closer to the altar and the altar? The distance between those 3 points.
Just give me a perception check.
$12.
12. They're maybe 10 feet apart. Like these guys are flanking, and these two that are closest to you are probably 40 or so feet apart. And then about 10 feet, there's two men who are chanting facing the altar. And then about 10 more feet, and is the altar in the center. Roughly.
This is like a. We see him like with a dagger raised up like this.
Yeah.
Does it feel like he's about to plunge it in any second, or do we feel like we have like a couple seconds to talk through our game plan?
Yeah, I mean it's you give me an insight check.
So there's 40 feet between the two unaware dudes between them.
That's a 5.
A 5, you have
Natural 2.
Yeah,
for
you
5.
have no idea.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
super
he's
hard.
chanting.
Yeah, they're. I mean, it's loud, and you can see that like he's doing or saying something too. Do any of you speak? Well, what are your languages? Shout them out.
Druidic, Orc, and Primordial.
Okay.
Common, Elvish,
Common,
Giant,
Orc.
Bizzle.
Okay.
And common and orc.
Okay. Yeah. So, you guys aren't sure what it is that they're saying. They're definitely chanting something, and it certainly seems ominous. And the longer it goes, you see that they're coming to a crescendo, right? The man continues with the pattern that he's been.
I'm still disguised as a cultist, correct?
You are, yeah. You are still disguised as a cultist, correct?
All right, so I'm gonna whisper. I think I have a plan here. On my mark, I need you guys to take care of those two guys in the back. I got everything else.
I will turn into a giant rattlesnake
Okay.
once again. And before I do, I will point to. The two guys are not together, right? They're like one here and one there.
they're spread apart.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll point to the one on the right, and I will say, "I got him," and I'll turn into a giant rattlesnake.
So I'm going to
Right, so I
approach
guess I'll take the left.
Okay.
very non-assuming. I'm going to try to mirror their posture
Mhm.
in the way that, however they're standing, that I can see. And I'm just going to approach very slowly, not to attract attention, not loudly, just to kind of
Right.
roll up on them.
Okay. And
My end spot, my goal of where I want to be placed is as close to within 15 feet of the two guys that are closest to the altar, but I want to be further like 16 feet from the altar.
you want
If
to.
that makes sense.
I know what you're trying to do, and I think that the circle would not work. I think that the circle would include the altar. There's no way you can get both of those dudes and not get the thing in front of you, too. It
Would I be able to get? So if I can get, you said there, one of the unassuming dude is 10 feet from another guy, and then he's like 10 feet from the altar, correct?
Correct. So it's 20 feet. You do.
Right. So let me get. I'll stand in between the two guys on the left.
So that's what you're trying to do. Okay.
Right. Just so I
Zarl'Gug,
can
what's your?
You know what I'm trying to do.
I know what you're trying to do. Zarl'Gug, what's your statement? Where you? So Leto's giving me a stealth check to sneak up as a rattlesnake. Zarl'Gug, what are you doing? Are you just going to be like
what's my
fuck this and
rattlesnake
run in
stealth?
there, or?
Alright, so
give the guys a
how far away would I be from my target, the guy in the back, all the way to the left?
From there, probably 50 feet.
Ooh, alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ready a dart, and the minute anything goes down, or either either Leto or Olomaer attacks, I'm going to let loose of the dart.
Okay, cool. And so you wanna creep up a little bit.
Because I got the impression it's a large circular room. There's no way I'm going to be able to sneak along the perimeter without anybody
I mean,
noticing.
there's stuff. It isn't just completely barren. Like they have been living here, right? So
Ah,
there's like things that you could like try to move around to get closer to them if you wanted to. Leto, what was your stealth?
so yeah.
So 23.
Okay.
Yep, so definitely I'm going to try to get, I mean, if I can, I'll try to get within melee range before everything goes down, but I'm still going to ready my dart
Yeah.
as I'm creeping, darting from place to place.
Give me a stealth check.
Ooh, 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. Okay, and okay. Yeah. So you guys move forward almost. I mean, you come up with a pretty good plan, right? You all kind of spread out. Olomaer, you take point and just stroll normally forward in a very unassuming way. At a glance, you look just like them, and they would have no reason not to assume that you were one of them. Um, So why don't you do what your attacks are, and then we're going to roll for initiative.
So once I get into position, I'm going to give a quick once over to make sure like I know the general range that my spell is going to produce the expected result. So I'm going to make sure that if I can get anyone in that, if there's someone on the edge of that,
you would be able to get the two off to the side. If you're going for the two on the left side, then you could be able to get those two for sure, and not include the altar.
My goal here, I don't think that I can wait to see your saves before calling in my channel the divinity. Is that correct?
That sounds right to me.
So I'm fuck it. I'm channeling divinity on it too. So as I'm gonna mutter. I think it's. Let me see. I think it's VNS on that. Could have grasped the holy symbol that I have. Give a little rub of the shield and mutter a short little prayer of strike down these cultists as fast as you can. Almighty cord.
Yeah. So what is the effect on that?
It is a huge 15-foot cube of thunder.
Got it.
It will do 16 damage on they have a dex save attempt to get away from it.
Okay.
If they dex save, it's 8 damage. If
not, yeah. Got it, cool.
They're pushed 10 feet back if they fail to save.
Got it.
Also, thunderous boom, 300 feet. So the room is going. I imagine it's going to fuck people's ears up in a enclosed area.
Firing a shotgun inside a tank. Start of Walking Dead.
Spell emits a thunderous boom, audible out to 300 feet.
Yeah, it's super loud.
I'm gonna bite the guy in front of me.
Yeah.
Actually,
I rolled a 17 and an 18. So they do both pass.
They both take 8 damage then.
They both take 8 damage. Cool. So you see Olomaer walk up, and when he kind of gets a feel for what's going on, he detonates. The two men are shaken and fall backwards, but they are able to regain their footing. Leto, give me an attack roll with advantage.
All right. That is a 19.
That is a hit.
All right, so that's going to be 8 points of piercing damage, and then they have to
Nice.
make a con save against my poison.
What is your DC?
DC 11.
No, I rolled a 14. I'm really sorry.
That's right. So they take 4 points. He takes 4 points of poison damage. So I
17,
rolled an
16,
8, so
14.
it's half. So 12 points total.
So 12 points total. Got it. And Zarl'Gug, give me an attack roll.
Am I within melee range? Is it range?
I would say because Olomaer was moving faster than you, you would be probably about 25 feet away. He was acting normally, so you were kind of sneaking back behind and weren't attempting to keep pace. So you would be able to make a dart attack on command. But the good news is, if you were in melee range, then you would have got hit by what Olomaer did. So.
Oh, that's good. It's a straight attack roll.
This is with advantage. Dart.
All right. Oh, that's a 24.
24. Roll damage. You were hitting. You were going for the one on the left, yeah, the far left.
That's right.
Pretty good.
So that's a 3 piercing.
Dope. Okay, so you guys roll for initiative, and with that, in a surprising amount of coordination, you moved quick enough upon seeing what was going on to move into the room and attempt to disrupt the ritual. The two men who are flanking on either side get buffeted back by the thunder wave that emits from Olomaer as his channel divinity strengthens it. Zarl'Gug, you pin him in the neck with one of the darts, and you see him drop. As this thunderous boom erupts, the one that's all the way to the right looks over in obvious shock, and this little rattlesnake comes up and gets him on the foot, and he goes, oh, and he falls over. Cool. So you've dispatched them. What did we get for initiative?
I got a 24.
24. Got it.
Changed mine to an 8. I put it on there and then deleted my guy, trying to get my guy off the screen.
24, 8.
12. 8, yeah. 8.
You got an 8. Zarl'Gug?
17.
17. Got it. Wonderful. 17. Now I have to do some of my own. Got it. Six. I just immediately forgot all those numbers. Can you believe that?
5, 15, 6. In that order?
Yeah, 15. Got it. And 16. Got it. Cool. Cool. So, as this massive burst of sound, you see that rubble starts to fall from the ceiling of the cave, and everybody has a little bit of tinnitus afterwards. It is quite an uncomfortable scene, and it went from 0 to 100 extremely quickly. Two of the men on either side fall dead, and the rest of them are immediately taken back by what happens. The man holding the dagger calls out, Continue the ritual. Which ends his turn. which brings us to. Let me just see this. So we're gonna go back around. So Leto, you're up.
Okay, so still snake.
You are.
I have 30 feet of movement, and then my attack has a 10-foot reach, so I can get a little bit further away from people.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna move 10 feet away from one of the guy who's closest to me, not the knife guy, but one of the other
Yeah,
ones.
you would be closer to the one of the people who's chanting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd go by one of the chanting guys, and I'd rear up and
Give him a
lash out
strike.
at him.
Yeah.
All
Roll
right.
roll an attack for me.
That is a 12.
Yeah. So you you are unable to penetrate through. He has like a pauldron, like a random leather pauldron that you little snake fangs don't get through.
Ah, it hurts my teeth.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't feel great.
All right. That's my turn.
Got it. Which brings us to Zarl'Gug.
All right, I have 40 feet of movement, so I'm just going to run up to. Does that bring me within melee range of the closest guy?
You
The
would
one
be,
closest
yeah.
to me?
You there's another one on the left side of the room who's still chanting, and you would be able to get to him with some movement to spare. Probably about 25 feet to spare. 20 feet to spare.
All right, so I'm just going to run right up to him. I'm going to swing at him with my.
With your quarterstaff, got it. Yeah, make an attack.
That's 11. Does that hit?
11. Yeah, you kind of stumble running up to jump up onto the platform, and you catch yourself, but you're not able to hit.
Ouch. All right. Yeah, no, and then I'm just I think that's it from me for this time.
Yeah. Which brings us to the person holding the dagger, and he. Let's see how would this go. Yeah, he like quickly sees you guys pressing in on him, and plunges the dagger down into the woman. One second. So plunges the dagger down into the woman, and you see as this happens, the air in the room starts to become black. It starts to be dark, which brings us to Olomaer.
How close? Who's the closest cultist to me?
I mean, you're close to the one that's... You're about 50-50 between the one that Zarl'Gug's on and the dude who just...
All right. Go up and try to smack him in the face with a warhammer.
Which one?
The guy, not the guy that's engaged with Zarl'Gug. The guy with
one on the altar?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 20.
20, that's a hit.
8 bludgeoning.
8 bludgeoning. So you walk up, and as you see him, like, it seems like he's like pushing it down harder, his face locked in this like stare. You impact into the side of him and do a bit of damage. He quickly looks back at you, and give me a second.
How is the woman looking? Does she look dead?
She does look dead. Make a dexterity saving throw.
6.
So as this happens, he gets pushed to the side, and he just looks back towards you, and you see his eyes flare. So you suffer...
Wow. Holy macaroni. That would have floored me.
Would that be considered an attack?
It's a reaction, so it's a spell, yeah.
So
Where are you
then
getting
he
at?
also needs to make a deck save.
Hit you with an attack. You can use your reaction. I mean, yeah, you can counterspell a counterspell, so I don't see why you couldn't. He hits you with that for 18 points of fire damage. You just feel yourself like it
Yeah,
flares up into you.
I'm barely hanging on to life right
Yeah.
now. Like I have that jacked me up.
Yeah.
He needs to make a deck save 13. Where he's taking 12 points of bludgeoning
Deck
damage.
save 13.
Damn.
That is a pass. Is it half damage?
Half damage. He takes 6 points of lightning damage.
Wonderful. So it's kind of crazy. Like his eyes flare, you burn, your eyes flare. This like arc of energy streaks out between the two of you, and quickly the situation has devolved. What was that total? 6?
6 and 8.
Yeah. For the second one, 6, right?
Yeah.
Coolio. So the woman lies dead. There is a distinct darkness that starts to fill the chamber, and you see the man grin as this light comes into his eyes. It is certainly unnerving, and Olomaer, you being a cleric, are aware of when something is alive or when something isn't. And it appears like this darkness that filled the room came up from the body. And it appears like there's something going on with that ritual.
I think I cast Healing Word on myself as a bonus action.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
And then that would
Get your mileage out of that turn, man. You did your reaction, your attack, your bonus action, you moved.
I'm literally holding on to dear life.
Yeah, so you Healing Word yourself. And right around that point, there's a woman who you guys see nothing really, but down the ladder behind you comes Blue. If you want to describe your character for me.
So all sand-colored clothing, black hair, copper skin with a green tint to it, green eyes, and this makeup.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'm into it. Yeah, so you come down the ladder, Blue, and there's a and if you want to change your name to your character's name for me, please. But there's a like you talked to the human upstairs, pledged your case. He was pretty convinced by it and agreed to continue watching for other people to come, namely other people who were dressed like these men who abducted her. And you make your way down the ladder. You take a couple steps out and you watch as the air gets sucked out of the room. The man plunges the dagger in, and Olomaer, there's this loud sound as you're climbing down the ladder. But yeah, so nobody's really aware of your presence in the room presently because it's immediately devolved into chaos. But you're probably about the same. So you're roughly 50-ish feet away from the platform that has the altar on it. With you see a half orc fighting a man who is chanting. You see a pretty big snake fucking with another one, and you see a person clad in basically head to toe metal armor up there at the altar and like actively combating someone there. And it's your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna pull out my short bow and try and shoot the dude up on the altar who's generally just not looking great.
Yeah.
He's kind of dark and scary looking.
Yeah, he looks like he deserves an arrow. Make an attack roll for me, please.
So, do I get sneak attack on this because he's
Yeah, they
with another person
absolutely
next
have
to him?
no idea that you're there.
Okay. So that's an 18 to hit.
18 hits. Roll damage.
That's 5 points of piercing damage.
5 piercing damage. So Olomaer, you're standing there, and out of the corner of your eye, you just see this come in. It hits the man in the chest as he kind of stumbles backwards. Yeah.
I would immediately look in the direction to see where the hell that arrow, because I know no one on our team carries a bow.
Right. Are you hiding?
Yeah, bonus action hide.
Yeah. So you have no idea. There's just a, and it comes out and impacts it. Cool. So there's your movement action, bonus action. Do you have any other? You still, honestly, you still probably have a decent chunk of movement, because for you to move up and be able to take a shot, it was only 10 or 15 feet. So if you wanted to move again, or if you wanted to find a better spot to hide, right now, I would say that you walked in and you kind of took the same path that Zarl'Gug took, because there's a little bit more cover over there with regards to, there's like tents, and there's, like I said, there's other shit over there for you to be able to hide behind. So I would imagine that that's probably where you are. Cool.
Should be more shit pushed up on there too from the thunder wave, like pushing all that shit back onto
Exactly.
that side as well.
Yep. And the
Pile up shit.
person who you just shot looks hurt, like pretty badly hurt. There is a brief pause as the man takes a look, can't find what the source of that new intrusion is. Looks over at the person who is engaged with the person on his right, which is you, Zarl'Gug. And he begins to mutter a word that you see underneath your feet. There is these black tendrils that spring up from the ground and attempt to grab onto your leg. I need you to make a strength saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh, no way that can go badly.
With disadvantage is always something you want to hear on a strength saving throw.
Ouch. My first roll was
The difference.
1, but the second was a 9.
Nice. Yeah, so you are you see this like inky blackness that takes shape, and it covers a pretty large area. About a 20-foot square of the ground like lurches up and wraps around you, Zarl'Gug, but the entire area, looking at it, it seems like the same thing would happen to someone who walked there, if that makes sense. So you are restrained presently as the blackness like holds on to you. He then smiles to you, Olomaer, and he says, "It's done."
Yes, your skull will be crushed in just a moment. It will be done.
It doesn't
Can't
matter. It doesn't matter.
You will be dead. It's all that matters.
We all will be. Which ends his turn. The other three on their turn continue to chant, which I believe brings us back to Leto.
All right, yeah, let's I'm gonna go a little lower on this guy this time. I hit him on the shoulder and my teeth just bounced right off him. So I'm gonna go after his like thigh, get that poison right up in the femoral artery.
Yeah.
See what I can do.
Get it pumping.
It is a 19.
19. That's a hit.
All right. So that is 6 points of piercing damage, and then needs to make the DC 11 Constitution save.
Con save. Wait a minute.
Am I set up to whisper to you? Oops. I did not mean to do that.
I'm wondering why your rolls haven't been. Jeez, have you rolled anything under a 13 today? Have you rolled anything under a 13?
That's
All right,
a
so that
natural
is
20.
Jesus.
9 points of piercing damage halved. So I always forget if it's you round up or not.
Wait,
Is
so
that
the whole
4 or
thing
5?
gets halved?
Just a piercing damage. Sorry, the poison damage.
Okay.
6 points of piercing, normal, and then 9 points of
Okay.
poison that get halved.
So to 4. And you see as you walk up, you kind of like do the little like peek between the legs, looking up at him, and he's like uncomfortably looking down, and you strike. You get him in that artery, and quickly he stops chanting and falls down to the ground. Probably
Okay.
dead.
All right, that's my turn.
Do you move? Because you still
Oh
have
yeah,
all
I guess
your
they're all in the
movement.
whole area. Sure, I'll get a little bit. Again, my reach is 10 feet, so
Right.
I'll just get within 10 feet of another one of the chanting guys.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of flank the one that has been no one's done anything to. You kind of move around to the far side of that room and look to prepare to engage him. Coolio,
All right.
Wonderbar. Up next is Zarl'Gug.
Oof, okay. I am going to try to escape this restraint. So just gonna struggle against it, try to see if I can just physically overpower the tendrils and get out of it.
Give me another strength.
Alright. Is that a strength check or a saving throw?
I'm gonna check. I forget what the wording on it. Boop, 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 boop. Strength saving throw. You would use its action to make a strength check.
Right.
So give me a strength check.
13.
13. That's enough. Yeah. So you like pull out of it, but that is your action.
Yep. So I am going to retreat.
The person that's in
Yeah.
front of you chanting does seem to be pretty hurt.
Yeah, but there's not much I can do at level 2. So I'm just going to... So the darkness that... So I managed to escape the tendrils, right? But the darkness is still in a 20 feet radius around me?
Yeah, it's about 10 feet in either direction. You think if you stop moving again and you're within this, you'll probably suffer the same effect.
Yeah, so I'm going to just yeet the hell out of there.
Which way you going? Front or back the way you came? Or towards the altar? Can't really go
I'm
to the
heading
wall.
towards the altar.
Towards the altar, yeah. So you pull your way out of it. The person chanting still continues. Doesn't attack you. And you make it with your movement up to almost be next to Olomaer and the other person.
All right, then I'm going to use one key point to do a patient defense. So I'm going to dodge as a bonus action.
Cool.
All right, that ends my turn.
Wonderbar. Up next is Olomaer.
So I'm going to slightly hesitate here because the last time I smacked this guy in the face with a warhammer, he almost killed me. So I'm going to fire a firebolt at him. I don't know why I just pressed longbow. Fire a firebolt at him and 13 to hit.
Did you do that with disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay. 13 to hit him. Let me check his AC real quick. Ba, 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 ba. Is no good. Yeah, you're like I got fire. I can fire people. It just doesn't affect him. So there's your action.
I'm just gonna move. No, I'm gonna stick beside Zarl'Gug. End turn.
Got it. Now the man who plunged the knife into the woman is still like, as you're attacking him, he doesn't seem to be paying you as much attention as you think you deserve, first of all. But as you would expect someone trying to smack somebody in the face with a fucking warhammer would be giving. It's way less than that. As a matter of fact, he stops entirely as he's kind of dodging and in the chaos, he begins to gather his hands over the corpse of the woman, and it seems like, again, like the darkness grows more, which brings us to Blue.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot the spooky dude again.
Yeah,
because he's doing bad things.
he is definitely doing bad things.
That is a 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Yes.
And that is a much better roll. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points of piercing damage.
Where are you aiming?
It is creepy eyes.
Nice, yeah. So that darkness that he's like pulling up over the body, there's like a brief moment where that goes away and there's just an arrow in his eye, and he stops. He still has that same kind of grin on his face as he just falls back lifeless onto the ground. So there's your action. You still have a bonus action, and you still have movement.
What else is there? Like, who's still up?
So there's there's the Olomaer and Zarl'Gug are over the altar. There's the altar. The giant rattlesnake is around the back, like past in like the altar's between you and the rattlesnake and the third person chanting, and then there's still one person over to the left.
Okay, I'm gonna try and run for the altar.
Okay. Yeah, you have. I mean, how much movement do you have?
35.
Yeah, you can make it the whole way there with that movement for sure.
Cool. I'm gonna run and then dive behind the altar and try and hide behind the altar.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check.
That is 18 plus 7. That's 25.
Huge rolls. So you guys see as this arrow, Zarl'Gug and Olomaer specifically. Leto, you're back there being a snake, but you watch as this arrow comes out of seemingly the darkness and shoots this person in the head. And then, are you short, tall?
5'7".
5'7".
Yeah.
So then, and then you see like someone clad head to toe in what would basically be desert camouflage comes up and like pins herself to the backside of the altar.
Who would see this?
Yeah. I don't presume she's trying to hide from you.
I would call out, "Thanks for the help. We could use it."
Yeah. At that, the two men who were chanting, the darkness that had been slowly gathering, that this person had kind of pulled up more out of the body, or at least seemingly out of the body. Having him fall to the ground, the two men kind of looked towards each other, and they both, it would be Leto and Zarl. Actually, who would it be? Probably Zarl'Gug. I need you guys both to make. Oh man, why am I never ready for this? What kind of fucking guy is never ready? Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Talk amongst yourselves.
Welcome, Blue.
Hi.
That was a fun surprise.
So,
Not telling us we're getting a guest today.
So,
Especially when the arrows are going against the other. Always a welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, enemy of my enemy.
Zarl'Gug and Leto make wisdom saving throws for me, please.
Ooh.
How does that work with wild shape?
I think
Let
you
me
just
check.
use this. No, you use yours.
I think he used mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
use yours.
'cause-
Yeah.
I think
okay.
intelligence and wisdom, you use your own.
Yeah, 22.
Oh, that's a 9. I keep rolling 9s today.
22, 9. Okay. So one of you. Have you taken? Are you hurt at all, Zarl'Gug?
Nope. Thankfully.
So you suffer 4 points of what the hell kind of damage is that? Necrotic damage, as this dark bong echoes as the person points at you. Leto, you're able to resist the effects and the sound that it makes. But yeah, Zarl'Gug, you suffer 8, whatever the number I said, points of
Ooh,
necrotic
but
damage.
I am dodging this turn, right? So
But
this
that,
turn-
yeah, so this is a spell save. If they had used the spell attack, that would be a disadvantage. But this is a different kind of roll. So
all right.
yeah. But yeah, so you suffer those 4 points. I think it was 4. Whatever numbers, who knows? And they both look like they try to meet up with each other. If they were in a triangle, they try to meet in the middle towards each other. So Leto, you would get an opportunity attack as they attempt to join up. They haven't said anything.
A 13.
13, that's a hit.
All right. So 7 points of piercing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have to make the DC 11 Constitution save.
On how many points of poison?
16. So 8
yeah.
if halved.
Yeah, so he
That was a
like
good roll.
yeah, he goes away
Good
and
roll.
you like get him right on the ass as he like tries to he like turns away from you in what will be the biggest mistake of his now over life.
Best part
and
to get bit by a snake, for
yeah,
sure.
you get him right in the butt. Bop!
Okay.
And he like stumbles over, and the last one's looking there, but he moves to where he was moving. Leto, you're up.
All right. So I know you said the room was getting colder. Is it still cold, or is it warmed up a little bit?
No, it's cold. It's super cold.
Mm.
Like that darkness is still there. It's still like it is presently growing in the center of the room, and it appears like it's spreading. Olomaer
Cool.
and how do you say it?
Glathy.
Quathi?
Glathy, yeah.
Qualathi? Got it. You two are close enough. It's not hurting you. It's not like hard to breathe. You can't really see through it. But it's like growing actively.
Sweet. All right. That's good. I will. I'll go after the last guy then. I
Yeah.
will go try to bite him as well.
Mm-hmm. And he already looks like shit.
All right.
Get him, Snake.
It's a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
Again, 6 points of piercing and 12 points of poison,
Nice.
unless he makes a save.
Have you ever seen? You remember the old school Beetlejuice movie, like the original one with Michael Keaton? I don't
Yeah.
know if there's another one, but I'm
I don't
saying
know.
the
I think so.
original because I'm pretty sure they'll remake it at some point. By the way, November 9th, 2020, that's when I said that. I will be referring to this whenever that
Okay.
happens. But yeah, so like the old school Beetlejuice where he turns into this like snake, the Bannister does. And that's essentially what you end up doing to those two people. You throw the one to the ground, give him a little bite on the butt. The other one's over there, leery, hurt Zarl'Gug in some way, but you bite and you're like, I'm not even going to use, like you hold your venom back. You're just like, I'm just going to bite this dude and he's going to go.
He's not worth it.
Yeah. And he does. He falls down to the ground. So you look around, and the woman who was bound to the altar, her chest in her middle starts to rise up off the center of the altar as that darkness pulls up into the air. So we're not in initiative, but I'm going to say that the longer that you guys sit here and try to figure out and talk, that's going to be happening. And go.
I will stop being a snake. I'll take off my my skin and put it in my bag. I'll spit out some I imagine there's some like butt still. In
Yeah,
my
yeah.
teeth,
There's
so
a
I'm
little.
gonna try that.
Yeah, there's a little butt.
I'm gonna spit that out.
So my first thought process is to walk up to this dead sacrificial woman, and I'm gonna try two different things here. With one hand, I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying.
Okay.
And if I see no result from that, like immediately, I'm going to immediately shocking grasp it, like kind of befib it.
Okay. 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 Yeah. So you
try to just whisper some little words like.
Yeah, you want to spare the dying,
and then if that.
Yeah, as you do that, it seems like it doesn't seem as though there is life to spare. Whatever it is presently like encased or whatever within that black, inky blackness that's spreading up out of the body. And you, shocking grasp, immediately following, and it's like the body jostles even more than it had previously, and it's charred.
Amazing. I'm gonna pop up from behind the altar, and I'm gonna look at this giant dude in armor and just be like, "You're really keen at saving people. That's great. Do that to me if this doesn't work." And I'm gonna grab the dagger that's in the woman and try and pull it out.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
No. Okay. 13.
13. It seems like whatever this is like, it doesn't, maybe it's lodged in a bone or something. It's like, fuck, you can't get it out. You can't get it out, and it's hot. It's super hot. As you reach out and pull it, you almost want to let go because it's so damn hot, but you can't get it out, and the body starts to slowly raise. It's now about your eye level. The platform itself was about 3 feet off the ground, and it's slowly, like, the arms dangling behind it, the legs as well.
I'm just gonna be like, hot, okay, sorry, hot, can you help?
Let me give a shot at it. I would see that she's clearly not like the strongest woman in the world. It looks like that. So I would like try to turn around the other side of the table and also try to like pull it up.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. So she already rolled. So I would say she already rolled. So I would say this isn't at advantage, and you're not giving the help action. You're just giving a strength check, and that would be those will be the attempts that we'll do for this.
17.
It's hot, and she's grabbing it, and you kind of put your hands up and get it, and finally you pull the dagger out of the what is now a corpse. And do you hold it?
I would throw it in the sand, I imagine.
You let go, right? Yeah. So you pull it out. Yeah. Give me a wisdom save.
21.
Yeah.
Nice.
You feel this like darkness creep into the back of your mind, touching this fucking thing, and you immediately like throw it down off onto the platform. It tick 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 and rolls. But the body is still raising. And as Leto kind of approaches up towards you, Zarl'Gug, are you still on the other side? What have you done?
So I think at this point, I'm going to take my quarterstaff and just try to poke the corpse, see if I get a reaction out of that.
Yeah. You like, one of the feet is like dangling, and you like, and it's still dangling there. And as you sit, you hear the darkness. It's weird. It's very off-putting. And as soon as you see Olomaer throw the dagger down to the ground, you kind of poke it with a stick. Leto, have you approached as well? Or I said
I probably gotten done cleaning myself up off after killing those people. So yeah, I would approach now.
He kind of like walks up and sees you guys dealing with this. What's everybody's passive perception? Actually, everybody give me a perception check. Just give me one, because you're going to be looking at it anyway. I wouldn't see you would not.
17.
17, 7,
18.
18,
17.
17. So everybody
Whoa,
but
nice.
Leto.
All right. Still got a little something right up here. I'm trying to get out, like squinting to get out of my teeth.
Mm-hmm. You see from where the dagger had been stabbed, these two sharp things seem like they're coming out of the wound. These like incredibly, I mean, it seems, it doesn't make sense. It's not a rib, and there's no reason that it would be moving. And almost instantaneously, you see the thing that started out as something sharp rips the corpse asunder, and before you there is a 7 foot tall, bright red creature with these cloven hooves and a beard that appears to be made of snakes. He stands on the altar and looks down at you. I need everybody to roll initiative.
So he just burst out of the corpse?
I'm not doing so hot.
Yeah, you're like.
Ooh, natural 20. So that's a 22.
All right,
Nice.
hang on.
I'm definitely dead.
All right, Zarl'Gug, what do you got?
22, natural 20.
Got it. Leto,
16.
16. Olomaer,
7.
Oof.
Quilathi,
16.
16. And let's do this.
Come on, 1.
Come on, not one.
I mean, you've been rolling 13 plus all night. You got to get. You're due for a couple ones.
You say that.
This is. Does it say anything when it bursts out? Does it say anything?
Hold your horses.
My first thought is, I don't want to fight you, beast that was just raised from the dead and came out of a corpse like chest burster style. 16. Fuck you.
Oof. Ow.
What is your Quilathi? What is your, and Leto, what are your dexterity scores? Leto, you're 14. Quilathi, what's
Yeah.
yours?
17.
Okay, so it's gonna go Quilathi, the creature, and then Leto.
All right.
Lovely.
Yeah, he bursts out. Obviously, this is a masculine form, and it's a beard, but it's not. It's made of these. Each like braid of hair braids down to the head of a snake. Wearing shirtless, of course, but the beard itself covers the majority of the creature's torso. He doesn't have a weapon, but instead, like I said, has these two large cloven hooves, who, as he emerges from whatever the fuck just happened, he says, "Kneel." Which brings us to Zarl'Gug.
Alright, so Zarl'Gug's not very big on kneeling, so he's just going to swing with the quarterstaff, two-handed.
Yeah, make an attack with advantage. And the way that we'll say this too, so he's standing on the altar, and it would be Quilathi, Zarl'Gug, Olomaer, Leto. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everybody gets it?
Yep.
Oh, critical hit?
yes.
Nice.
Dope.
So I, as a half orc, I'm also going to invoke my savage attack,
Hell yeah.
so I can. Yep. So that's
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna roll another d8.
That's
Bop,
in an
bop,
eight.
bop,
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
So you
That's 27 damage.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, he emerges from wherever the hell he just came from and commands you to kneel. To which Zarl'Gug responds by clubbing him in the dick with a quarterstaff. And he winces. You could see that like he was going for this air of intimidation and majesty and whatever. And Zarl'Gug, like looking up at him, just catches him right in the spot where you don't want to get hit, even if you're a demon.
So yep, I'm just gonna use my last remaining key point to take a patient defense and just stand there and just be ready in case he retaliates.
That's probably the most ridiculous roll I've ever seen. A crit followed by 3 8s.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nuts, dude.
That's pretty good. That's
3 maximum damage dice.
pretty good.
Oh, remember last week though, the 2 criticals in a
Yeah.
row.
Good as
This,
well.
I think this beats that. This definitely beats that.
beats it. Yeah, this definitely does beat that.
All right, so that ends my turn. Patient defense.
Got it. Quilathi.
Cool. At which
Its
point,
back is to you.
yeah, I'm gonna pull out my rapier, and be like, "I'm sorry, I took the dagger out. Can we put it back in? Is that an option?" And then I'm gonna stab him.
Okay. Make an attack with advantage.
Ugh, bad roll. 15 to hit.
That's a hit.
Cool. That's a D8.
And you, obviously, you have sneak attack on this.
Yeah, because of advantage.
Yep.
So that is 5, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points of piercing
12
damage.
points of piercing damage. Yeah.
And I'm going to then, just like quickly stab him in the kidney and then fuck off. So
Yeah.
I'm going to disengage.
Yeah. So you're like, all right, guys, you got this. You implant the dagger where you think it was probably the rapier where probably where the dagger was. The joke lands, and so does the hit. And are you trying to like retreat your full speed? Are you trying to like what's your?
I'm just getting out of swinging distance.
Okay. Yeah. You believe that you move about 10 or 15 feet back down off the altar, or off of the platform. You're probably safe. Does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Cool. So the creature now, you see the beard, each one of them like flares out like what is that? Like a peacock, like a snake peacock, like a beard snake peacock. It's super scary. Ooh, it is scary. And he cries out in pain as he gets hit pretty squarely in the junk by Zarl'Gug, which probably saves your life, Olomaer, because he looks over at Zarl'Gug and attempts to kick at him. And one of his beard, as he like lunges down towards him, one of the snakes lashes out as well. Give me a second. Always whisper rolls. Bop, beep, boop. Okay. Dog. I'm so good at this game. And
Let me guess, you rolled above a 13.
the one that was the first one, the beard, which is at disadvantage, Zarl'Gug. The lower roll is a 22.
Oh, wow.
But the foot, you're able to parry it out of the way, which is good. However, the snake bites into you. So you suffer 9 piercing damage.
All right.
And make a Constitution save.
So that's not gonna go well.
Come on, con save.
Nice, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh my life.
Yeah, you feel a poison come through you, but you are your adrenaline is pumping so hard right now. You're so yoked out that like you just purge it from your system instantly. No problem. The creature then jumps down off of the altar, and only tries to engage with you, Zarl'Gug. So Olomaer, you would be able to make an opportunity attack against it.
I can only make a weapon attack, right? I can't make a spell attack on that?
You are not a warcaster.
Figured it was worth the shot. So I'm gonna swipe out my warhammer, just like I'm still pretty jacked up. So
Yeah.
6 to hit or 13 to hit if it's at advantage. I don't know if it's
This one isn't at advantage because you're not being flanked anymore.
I'm still jacked up.
Yeah, you kind of haphazardly, you're like, get away from me. Get out of here, demon. And one of the snakes like hisses at you off his beard. And yeah, you don't hit. But now it is your turn.
And I was also like, I would also say the reason I probably missed was because like when he was like kneel, I was like in the motion of kneeling right before Zarl'Gug. Like right before Zarl'Gug, I was already kneeling. I was like, oh, I'm actually attacking this guy. Shit. All right.
Cool.
So I would run up to him and try to smack him on the ass with a shocking grasp.
Yeah. Is
17 to hit.
Nice.
So I'm presuming that you climbed over the back of the altar to get behind him. Is that an accurate assumption?
Well, how wide is the altar for me to run around it to get to?
I mean, you could do that too, but that seems way fucking weak.
Yeah, I'll come up and jump. Yeah, jump off the altar, badass style.
Yeah! Come on, man. I'm giving you a pedestal.
Yeah.
So judgy.
With that, I'm jacked up, man. I'm not feeling too like jumping over and like I'm pained right now.
He like
To
he
climb
like
over
puts
an
his
altar-
hand on his chest and like slowly rolls on the top of the altar, lands on the back side. Yeah, so this is a melee spell attack at advantage.
Need to hit
That's a hit.
8 lightning.
I skipped over Leto. Yeah, 8 lightning damage. It's you see as this happens. First of all, this electricity arcs out from your hands onto him. I'll even say that you get him with a shield bash, right? And that like the holy symbol itself flares with this lightning energy that goes into him. It seems like it affected him more so than the normal weapons that you had used previously. Cool. So there's your action. There's about 5 feet of your movement. Do you have anything else you need to do?
No, end turn, and he can't take reactions till
Correct.
my next turn or his next turn. All right, cool.
And I skipped over Leto. Doesn't really matter because there's nobody in between you two. It's just you two. I'll get it right next
Yeah, no
time.
problem.
But Leto, you're up. You're about 10 feet away as this thing seems very keen on dispatching Zarl'Gug.
All right. Well, I'm not sure. You made the room colder, so this seems like it might be less than effective. I'm going to take some of the cold and shove it back at him and cast Frostbite.
Got it. That is... What's the save on that? Or-
Constitution saving throw. DC is 13.
Dude, I rolled an 18.
All right.
Burr, 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 burr.
That's all
Where's
right.
the one? Where's the one?
And then I will. I'll
Is
just
that
back
that's
up.
a save or suck, right?
Yeah, because it's just a cantrip.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. So I'll just step back like another. Try to get like at least 15 feet, 20 feet away from him.
Mhm.
Just back out a little bit further, and not in the same spot as Kalathi, so we're not like all clumped up, but just back up a little bit.
Well,
I have my
you're on the
shield
other
out.
side, so you would be spreading out anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
Got it. So you're probably about 25 feet now?
Yeah.
Works. Cool. Which brings us to Zarl'Gug. So it appeared like this thing it's like beefy. It's half as wide as, like 1.5 as wide as you, and about 1.5 taller. What do you got?
Oof. All right. So when the snake caught me, I think square in the chest, just gonna shake it off and roar in frustration, and I'm gonna swing at him with my quarterstaff, two-handed, right at the waist. So let's say that's nearly. That's a 24.
24. That's a hit.
Nice.
This was at
All right,
advantage anyway.
Oh, nice. All right. So and I'm also going to do an unarmed strike for my bonus action.
Sure.
Wait. So is the unarmed strike with advantage? No.
Yeah, they're both with advantage.
Oh,
Every
right.
attack, because Olomaer is behind him.
The unarmed strike is 19.
19 hits.
All right, so that's a total of 13 bludgeoning damage for
13
both.
bludgeoning damage. You hit him again. You kind of fake him out, right? So you could tell he's a little like leery of being hit in the crotch again. And you kind of fake low with the back end of your quarterstaff and catch him on the side of the face with it. And then give him a right hook just to kind of make sure that you hit him with this and then you clock him again, let go of the staff. You're doing decent damage. It fucking hurts to punch this thing. It hurts, but I mean, you're fine, but this thing is solid. So there's your action and bonus action. You still have movement if you'd like.
Now I'm going to stay put and just yell out at the rest of the party. Guys, little help here, please.
Right behind you, Zarl'Gug.
Cool.
Well, technically, you're behind him. But yeah, that's my turn.
Kalathi.
Yeah. Cool. I guess I'll run forward again. Try and stab him with my rapier.
Hell yeah, yeah. So you're doing the boxing style of stick and move, literally stick.
Yeah. I'm just moving out of the way. I don't want any of those snakes anywhere near me.
Damn right. Leto feels a little hurt, but
Yeah,
roll with advantage, please.
I need to question him about later. That is 16 to hit.
16. Yeah, that's a hit.
10, 11, 12. 12 piercing damage.
12 piercing damage. Yeah, you guys are you're whittling this thing down. You kind of stab into the leg, and it seems like it got hurt from that, and it lets out this like deep roar. But you appear to be working it.
Okay, I'm gonna
You still have some
bonus
movement.
action
You can
disengage again.
Yeah. And you kind of run back to the spot. So you literally are like running in, stabbing, and running back out. And it seems to be working. Now, on its turn, the creature in pain, and again, it seems pretty hurt, reaches onto its back. And there isn't anything there. But he pulls this glaive down. This like dark black, like the blackness in the room that still kind of lingers. He pulls it down and it emerges. It's a 10-foot long glaive with this black essence draining off of the back of it. And it smiles and takes a swing at you, Zarl'Gug, with the glaive.
Big money.
16.
Oh, yeah, that's a hit.
All right. You suffer 12 slashing damage, and you make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 19.
19.
Nice.
Yeah, you're still like this is your home, man. Like you've been here 1,000 times, and you're able to resist the effects that the blackness kind of sinks into your heart as it like slashes you in the chest, but you resist it.
All right, so the the slashing would have killed me, but relentless endurance
Nice.
and back up to 1 hit point.
Yeah, you bounce back up, and he like gets a grin on you and spins back around towards Olomaer, and his beard lashes out at you for a 14.
Nope.
It is unable. You've like you're still holding the shield up against him that you used to shock him with, and the snakes are like they can't get around it. All right, which brings us now to Leto.
All right, so I just saw assume Zarl'Gug just like staggered back as he used that relentless endurance. So I'm gonna run up to him and use Cure Wounds and say, "It's the last one I got, buddy." And give you 8 points of healing.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, you feel like he like walks up and gives you a quick little back rub, like a Pokemon, and you feel way better.
All right, and
Thanks,
I'll
Magic Man.
anytime. And I imagine that takes pretty much all my movement to get to him, so I'll just be
You probably got about 5 feet, but you look and this glaive is 10
pretty long. Yeah. All right, so I'll say where I am.
Got it. Olomaer.
I am going to swipe with my Warhammer.
Okay.
Try to catch him in like the ankle area. 16.
16 hits.
6 bludgeoning.
6 bludgeoning. You catch him in the leg, and his knee buckles, but he stands back up.
End turn.
Zarl'Gug.
Okay, I am going to attempt to, with my quarterstaff, try to grapple him.
Okay. I'm with it.
All right. So is that athletics?
That would be athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
Well, I know what I'm going with. Let's see. And that's 15.
15. 13.
Haha.
Yeah,
There's
so,
your
How far?
13. Finally.
so as he spins back around to attempt to deal with Olomaer, Zarl'Gug like wrenches his quarterstaff around the creature's head and starts to try to pull it back. You can still make an unarmed attack if you'd like.
All right.
As
just
a
gonna
bonus action.
try and catch him in the kidney while grappling him. That's a 16.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
7 bludgeoning damage.
7
Nice.
bludgeoning damage. Yeah, you hit him with a quick knee to the kidney, and he looks pretty hurt. Which brings us to Quillathi.
Cool.
So you see the half-orc pulling the monster back.
I'll take that as an invitation to stab him right in the underbelly. Yeah, I'll come up and be like, "Oh, you should have." That is 23 to hit.
That's a hit.
That is 9, 10, 11, 12 points of piercing damage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, how do you want to kill it?
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll just be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have." And then as I go to thrust the rapier forward into his soft underbelly, I'm gonna be like, "To be fair though, the magical mystery shadow glaive thing, that was kind of cool." And then like
Yeah, you finish the cut up on it. And it roars loudly, and you're like just like black ichor floats out onto you and Olomaer, and the creature slowly like stumble, like you feel Zarl'Gug, you're holding it up and its knees give, and it just starts to fall into the ground and like melt into nothingness and goo. Yeah. There you are. So you watch as the creature melts away, and you're kind of panting and looking. Everyone, give me a perception check.
I'm actively looking for that knife too. That's my first thought after this. After we survive this, is look for that knife with a 4.
A 4,
I have a 10 in perception.
10,
Yeah, I'm winded. I'm a 4.
4.
I got a natural 20.
Natural 20. All right, so the only one who
Nice.
knows what the hell's going on. She like shielding her eyes away from the gross black that like sticks onto you. It's stinky, it's sticky, it doesn't hurt, but it's gross. As you shield your eyes over to the left, you glance into the corner of the room, and you see off, like, the pedestal doesn't, the raised part of this cave doesn't extend the entire way to the wall, and you look off into the corner and you see a pile of skeletons, a pile of bones, some fresh, some not, but just like a few almost complete skeletons off to the side, like haphazardly thrown in a pile. And I think that's a good point for us to take a 10-minute break.
All right. That was tense.
Yeah, we will role play all this fun stuff back in 10 minutes. 8 p.m.
Sounds good. All right.
That is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, all I need to do, here's the thing. I only got to get one of you. And then everything starts crumbling. Everybody, because then if one of you's down, then somebody's got to get them up, which means that two of you aren't fighting. Just got
We have 2 healers in the group, which is always good.
Just got to get one. So welcome back. We are, well, it, for the moment at least, it seems that the tension has kind of left the room. The coldness, the unnatural coldness that was brought into the room isn't there anymore. It's still pretty cold because you're underground in a cave, but no more so than a normal cave. And you guys look, catching your breath, beaten pretty badly. And there's a new person there.
I'm going to use my rapier to point in the direction of the skeletons in the corner and be like, hey, have you seen the... Oh, ew, gross. And I'm going to shake off all the ichor off my rapier and then be like, do you guys think that looks like previous ritual attempts?
It's my guess. But the other question, and a better question probably, is who the hell are you? And first of all, thank you. Thank you for saving us, because I was jacked up there. Those arrows, clutch arrows, by the way. But really, who are you, and why are you here?
Well, I'm not a cultist. I'll just clear that up right now. I'm not one of these guys. I saw this mangled... Wow, she's really mangled. Mangled body.
I mean, yeah, it looks terrible.
Wow. They did a number on her. So I saw her getting captured, and I kind of thought that was probably a bad thing. So I figured I'd find out what was going on, try and save her. Didn't do a very good job.
You didn't kill our friend upstairs, Titus, did you?
Oh, the dude up at the top of the stairs? No.
Alright.
No. Oh, but I'm Quillathi Shilthamir. You can call me Quill or Lassie or Q or QQ. That's cute.
Well, again, thank you. I feel like you probably saved all of our lives, because I don't see that going much better without your help and your arrows. So appreciate it. Thank you again.
So why are you guys here?
We're here to Leto, you take this one. I don't really know why. I'm jacked up, man.
I'm Leto, by the way.
Hey, you were a
Um,
snake,
I was a snake.
and now you're not.
Correct.
He does magic, Zarl'Gug says. In
Cool.
awe.
Can you teach me to do that? That's cool.
I'm not really sure how I do it, to be honest. Here, try putting this around your shoulders, and I give you a giant snake skin.
Uh, Did it work?
She puts
By
it
way
over
of-
her
Doesn't look-
shoulder, and it's like a gross boa, like feathered boa. It doesn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe if like if the shoulders aren't quite in there. No, I think it's still not working. I'm sorry, and I'll take it back.
Okay.
Someday we'll find someone where that works for, but seems to be me, right? Just me at the moment. But yeah, so we're hoping to find a boy named Henry who we think was taken by these guys. We actually met a halfling pretending to be Henry, which was not good for the emotional health of the mother, to say the least. But we don't know where Henry is. Hopefully, he is not in that pile of bones over there.
I mean, this doesn't seem like a playground. Just saying.
No, and they took him yesterday, so I don't know how fast they work.
I think it's been over 48 hours.
I mean, this lady wasn't here very long. Run it out there.
Yeah.
The name's Olomaer, by the way.
Your hair is amazing. How are you doing that?
Comes naturally.
Like, is that like sandstorm chic? What is that?
You can call it that. I think it's mostly just the blood and the ick that's in there right now.
Ew. I'm gonna go over to the skeletons and
Yeah.
see if one of them looks incredibly depressingly small.
Yeah. So you head over, and it seems like. Give me an investigation check.
I'm good at that. I probably just jinxed myself.
It wouldn't be appropriate without a small baby-sized skeleton.
What was it? Investigation.
Yeah.
That is an 18.
An 18.
Roll.
So the first glance that you took, you saw bones, right? And there were a lot of them. But after you get over there, you realize it's more of a corpse pile. There's 6 at least instances of dead bodies, different heights, different sizes. Some in different states of decay as well, and there's a kid there.
Yep.
You will
And
note,
just-
however, with your investigation check, that the state of the woman that you followed in is significantly worse than the state of any of these corpses that are over here, in that none of them appear to have been ripped apart.
Seeing I imagine we see that as well, or
I mean, I assume you guys were still over at the altar.
Yeah, I'm just because I'm really beat up. I'm gonna be resting on the quarterstaff and just kicking at the corpse of the half goat Medusa thing. Yeah, not really doing an investigation, just poking at him.
Yeah.
I would see her walk over to the pile of corpses and say, "Well,
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
bad news."
I think I found Henry.
Hearing that, like that these people sacrificed or attempted to sacrifice a small child, I think I would like, go into a rage and just start smashing the dead bodies of the cultists that are on the ground. Like just in like our mission of like finding Henry was a failure, and they murdered a small child.
Yeah.
So I would just be smashing the bodies of the cultists.
Yeah, Olomaer flies
in a rage.
into a rage and begins viciously desecrating these bodies. What else do you guys got?
Hey, you didn't let me. The good news. You want the good news?
Like I like stop smashing one of the skulls of this guy. Like it's like covered. I'd imagine him covered in just like bits of bone and brain and blood. Like, go ahead.
So these guys don't look like her, which makes me think that we don't have like 6 big snaky cloven hoof dudes around.
That is good news.
So I don't think it worked before.
Wonder what made this one special. With that, I would walk over to the guy who nearly killed me, and I would begin like running his pockets. Like, does he have the outfit of a cultist on? Or was he dressed?
The only thing that was different about him, he had a small like red sash that went around his neck. That was put into the robes, like sewn into the robe. But other than that, the dress is identical. You do a quick once over on him. You don't need to make a roll. He doesn't have anything on him. There is a lot of things that are in the cave. You kind of look around. You see, like I said, there's tents. It seems like there's belongings. It seems like there's other pieces of things in there, but the pockets, and you guys kind of run through. You're like sifting through pulp on one of them because that was the one that you decided to take your frustration out on. But they're all largely, none of them have anything on their persons.
So I'm just gonna look around at the space in general, just kind of trying to figure out where we might be. And does it seem like are there side rooms or any passageways, or is it just this is the room and nothing else? All right. That is an 11.
11. Glancing around the room again, like this doesn't appear to have been the raised platform that you're on appears to have been either constructed or something. It's made of wood, but that's the only like construction in this entire place. The walls are rocky and uneven. It appears that this is some kind of a natural cave that these people adapted to whatever their purposes are. But you don't see like another passageway or like an exit other than the one that you guys came in.
So I'm gonna ask them, guys, do you think if we lopped the head off this monster and brought it back to Jasmine, we'd get a reward for it?
Who's Jasmine?
Oh, you know what? Let me tell you about why we're here. We are some of the newest members of the Rising Tide. Up and coming, save the world kind of guys, and you seem like you'd fit right in.
I'm gonna look at Zarl'Gug and be like, does he always talk like that?
Yeah, he really does.
Okay.
Don't get him started on COD.
And let me tell you, I think if you come with us, may even get us both like a referral fee, like $50 for you, $50 for your friend for joining kind of thing. Could be money in it for you.
Uh-huh.
And prestige, which is more important than money.
Nope, money's more important. Zarl'Gug just shakes his head. Money.
Like, come on, guys.
This is a hard sell for you, huh?
I'm telling you, it'd be the best decision you made in your life. It's been our best decision.
You just smushed a guy, well, a dead guy, because you got angry because things weren't going to plan.
Hey, when there's small children being murdered, kind of gets under my skin. It's not right. It's not right. if that doesn't make you feel some kind of way, are you a human? Are you?
I'm definitely not that.
Yeah. What is she? Can we tell?
I mean, I've got pointy ears.
Well, then you're not a good person. Does that sound better? Does that make more sense?
Olomaer, you aren't a human. Are you? None of us are humans. Who are you?
It's a saying. It's a phrase. Figures.
All right.
While he's trying to give me the hard sell
Mhm.
and telling me I should be a good person, I'm rifling through all the belongings.
Yeah. So you, as you're like having this conversation, so you largely investigated the corpse pile, and they were all wearing the same thing that the woman was wearing beforehand, just like a simple, like plain, like almost burlap tunic that is long. And they're all, like I said, in various states of disrepair. They didn't have anything on them. As you kind of head around the room, you can tell that whoever was here, or these people that were here, rather, were living here probably for a while. There's accumulations of muck and used pieces of food and cloth all kind of piled up into a corner. The place kind of stinks. Give me an investigation check. If anybody's helping her look through the belongings, you can do that, or she can roll with advantage.
I'm looking for the knife. I'm looking to find the knife.
You don't have to look for it. You know where it is.
Was it with
Sure.
advantage or
I'll
not?
help you. I'll help you out, Quill.
Yeah, so that's with advantage then?
Because I've been looking around the room for like other spaces, so I'd probably be able to assist you with that.
Good, because that first roll was awful.
Alright, so meanwhile, I'm just gonna pull out the great axe I got from our previous encounter.
Mhm.
Still, trying to get a feel for how to use it. I'm gonna try to behead the monster.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the go ahead. What'd you get, Quill?
21.
21. Yeah, you find through this whole thing, it seems like what they were doing is when they would abduct whomever they abducted, you find near the front entrance by where you walked in initially, there's just a pile of keepsakes, of mementos. Looking through that, it's hard for you to figure out what really belongs with what, right? Like there aren't any identifiable markings. You are able to find a silver ring that has an inscription on it that says Gertrude. And so you kind of file that away. The rest of it is like simple pocket things that you would find in somebody's pockets, right?
Okay.
Not a whole lot of stuff.
Well, when I find the ring, I'll just show it to Leto and be like, ooh.
And through the rest of the cave, as you kind of make your way through, you see Quill and Leto kind of going around to each one of the like bedrolls, each one of the tents. You come across what would amount to be 30 gold pieces worth of either random pieces of treasure. A lot of it sometimes is just in coinage. You find one ruby that's valued at 5 gold pieces. But you also find, Quill, a book, like a handwritten journal, which we will get back to the contents after we talk to Olomaer, who you're looking for the dagger, and it's there. You remember specifically where you threw it. It hasn't moved.
So I remember that when I grabbed it with my bare hand, or my gauntleted hand, that it had some mysterious effect that I was able to shake off.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought process this time is I'm going to use my vestment to pick it up.
Okay.
So the holy power of my God will hopefully protect
Sure.
me. Then I want to put it into my alms box so that it is, again, the evil will hopefully be overwhelmed by the glory and good of my God.
You pull this out and quickly kind of like hot potato it, scoop it up around, and you feel that same thing kind of creep in, and you quickly just shove it and close it in the alms box, and you're able to shake that off.
So I was able to still feel that there was still it still has the effect. After
It was
that I'm saying
clearly your plan worked.
Okay, but I'm saying like the okay, I got you. Yeah,
Right.
cool.
Zarl'Gug, you so the creature disintegrated. I'm sorry to say. I wish you could take this creature's head with you, but it disintegrated. It all went into like I'm melting and like bubbled away. So it is not there. You're standing over like the pile of goo, essentially. That remains. But you cut one of the cultist heads off for fucking sure.
Yeah, I don't think Jasmine's gonna give us a reward for a pile of goo. We can take the cultist head though. All in favor?
I don't know if that's the mission that they originally sent us out. So we were set up here for some special paintings, and we come back with a cultist's head, and there's no identifiable way to determine that that's a bad person. I don't think Jazzy Jazz is going to appreciate that.
You might also not appreciate being called Jazzy Jazz, so...
I know, that's pretty cool. That's a cool
She
name.
seemed to appreciate when I referred to her as that.
Okay.
She kind of smiled at me.
Yeah, I'd like to be. Yeah, that would be a cool name. I think, knowing her so well, like I do.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Probably shouldn't be lugging around human heads.
They are all
Let's at least take one of their outfits so that we have the identifiable, like, the people who wear this junk are sketchy.
I like point at his outfit that he's still wearing that is sketchy because he's wearing a cult outfit.
Yeah, you still do look like a cultist.
At this point, like, can I remove detect this guy's self as an action?
I think you're able to. Yeah. If you're not, I'll say that you can. Because
So this is a question to the DM. Is there actually their outfit? Is there anything unusual or strange about it? Is it does this just look like a robe that anybody could wear?
It does. It like first of all, give me an investigation or perception, your choice.
Neither is gonna go very well, but let's say
that's okay.
That's an 8.
An 8? That's fine. No. As long as you didn't completely f this up, you're gonna get what you need to get, which is so the rest of them, the men that were chanting and the two that you immediately dispatched, they're all like patchwork, right? They're the same shade of color, but they're not like one solid thing. The one, however, that actually plunged the dagger into the person on the altar, his is an actually like a constructed robe that has that red trim around the neck that you gather is probably something that only a higher ranking individual would have. Like I said, the rest of them seem to have just been thrown together, but this one is actually a robe that has the purpose of being used in the way that it is.
I would know that, but Zarl'Gug with a -1 to intelligence probably wouldn't catch that, so he's just going to gesture to the patchwork clothing of all the cultists and reply to Olomaer, what? People wearing what? They're not even wearing the same thing. It's all over the place.
So at this point, I would cast an action to remove this guy's self, and I would transform from looking like a cultist to a much larger Fearbolg in full chainmail with a shield and a warhammer.
Yeah, so you guys kind of take stock of the room, sifting through what you need to. And Quill, why don't you give me a... this is another investigation check.
Okay.
As you kind of thumb through the book.
Oh, yeah. That's A 14.
14. So it seems like, first of all, this isn't written. It's a lot of shorthand, and there are strange symbols in it that don't mean anything to you. But there is a something specific that stands out. You keep seeing the name Malcanthet. Malcanthet. It says it a couple times, and it seems like this journal is like they tried several times with several different individuals, and it with several different iterations of attempting to do this ritual. They were attempting to summon different creatures with different sacrifices. The most recent one, as you flip through the back, is you read there's they tried to summon one of the malcontents imps by using a child. It was unsuccessful, and you see that the next time, like it's again a lot of shorthand, but you're able to piece that together given the descriptions of the words that's being used in it.
I'm gonna close the book and offer it to Olomaer. Be like, hey, this looks like something Jazzy Jazz would be interested in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It explains what their plans were, I think.
They mention any evil beings, any names?
Yes. Malcontents.
Hopefully that was the beast that we just killed.
One of them, I think. I think it's a type. I think they were using, what was his name? Henry, to get a little one, like an imp. So I think a malcontent thingy. I think that's like a type of gribbly, like we just saw.
Well, let's hopefully this is the last of the cultists and we cleared out every last one of them.
That is extremely likely, right?
I mean, maybe, but then did have an invisible glaive, so maybe there's someone in here with us.
She says that, and the roof. No.
I will say, so I don't know what you saw up above, Quill. There's we noticed kind of a tornado sitting on top of the middle of the desert that wasn't moving. We went into it. That's how we got down here. And I will say the boy that was actually a halfling that replaced Henry, he was disguising himself. So whoever these people are, it seems like they're at least a little bit good at illusion or at hiding things. So I don't know. If we see something else that's kind of out of place in the desert, might be them. There might be. I'm gonna start actually walking around the sides of the walls with my spears, like tapping it every couple of feet to see if like anything is hidden.
Yeah.
Probably not, but I'm gonna try.
Give me an investigation check with advantage.
All right. That is a 7. Jeez, I rolled a 2 and a 6, so that is a 7.
Sometimes
Wow.
advantage doesn't really matter. Yeah, you walk most of the perimeter as you guys are talking about what it is that occurred and the potentiality of the existence of more. But yeah, you find nothing.
Well, just a thought. Yeah, we should keep an eye out for that. Maybe this is all of them and they all came down here. They certainly have a lot of supplies, but if they have another.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If they have another safe house, it's probably going to look like this, hidden behind something weird.
You also, Qualathi, when you were approaching this place, you saw a large spinning maelstrom, like a desert dust devil. Um, but as you kind of approached it, you had been following tracks up and down the dunes, and you, maybe about 50 yards or so away from it, that ceased to exist, and that illusion was no longer there, and you were able to see Leto, I'm sorry, Titus, just standing outside. So that illusion, you are aware that it was at least there, and you didn't see through it at first, but then you were able to. I will say as well, just for the purposes of this, I know it doesn't really kind of defeats the purpose, and it's like, oh, I'm giving you something, but it just is going to have to work like this for right now. But we'll say that on his way up the ladder to stand guard, Titus handed you, Leto, the sheet of paper that you initially
Sure.
used to divine your way here.
Sure. So, and I'll point that out, that since we're talking about like the illusions and everything, they'll kind of come up and say, yeah, so I don't know how you got here. We found this on the man who's pretending to be Henry, and I'll show this piece of paper. I think if you look at it in the right angle or light, I never really got the trick of it. It kind of tells you where to go. And I'll hand it over to Quill, since I'm guessing she hasn't seen that kind of thing.
Yeah, so he hands you this piece of parchment, and it's, probably 8 inches by 8 inches square, but rough around the edges. But it's more durable than paper you would expect a piece of paper to be, right? It would be like a thin layer of plastic by today's standards, but it obviously isn't that. And there are 2 weathered pieces on the edges of the paper, where obviously people had been using it to hold. So you look at it and kind of flip it over and pull it taut. But yeah, that's what's in your hand.
I'm just gonna be like, wow.
Do you hold it by the markings?
Yeah, eventually I'll be like, kind of a bit nonplussed to begin with, and then be like, yeah, and then hold it.
Yeah, you as you do it, you're like, oh, this is great. Yeah, thanks for the paper, guys. Yeah, I never saw a piece of paper like that. Oh, wait a minute. And as soon as your hand goes into the right kind of spot on it, and you look through it, you would be facing the back room near to where the altar is, and you see a large on the wall that is very clearly not there to the naked eye, but you kind of look through it, and on the back wall there's two large eyes, with like flared coming off of the side of it, and like a pleasant smile mouth, not overly intimidating, but it's like emblazoned into the wall. It's not obviously there, it's outlined in bright red, and you see through the paper this like face. It's honestly not, well, make a wisdom save.
Yay. Oh, okay, that was a good roll. 19
Damn
plus
it.
2, so it's 21.
Damn it. All right. So it's honestly really inviting, and you glance up through it and you feel good. You're like, wow, that, and like you want to approach it, and you quickly like pull the paper down over your eyes, and shake your head for a second. You're like, that was weird.
Would be like, huh. Hey, so there's a really cool thing on that wall. Guys, cool thing.
What did you see?
A
Yeah.
face. He was smiling at me. Or like charming like.
That's
Practically gave me a wink.
It's a good sign in a cultist cave where we just killed some evil being and a bunch of cultists. It's a good
Oh
sign.
yeah. I forgot about that.
It's still there.
Maybe. And I'll check again.
Make a wisdom save.
Would she be
no.
aware of the wisdom effects that are occurring?
Yeah, I mean, she felt it for sure.
I'm just stupid. That's a 4.
Oh, okay, cool. You feel, Quilathi, you feel lost, right? In looking at this, and you see her like hold it up, and like her face almost goes blank for a second. Well, it does go blank for a second, and you feel lost. You are overwhelmed with emotion at the loss of the creature that you just killed. You feel crushed that happened. You are what's considered charmed, but there isn't anyone here with which to converse. You want to tell someone, but you just watch her like emotion well up in her.
As we would see that reaction, like she was like happy about it, she was talking about it, and then she went up to look at it again and came back down and was like I would say we would have noticed that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me just take that paper from you.
You really don't want him to have it.
No.
Listen, just give it here. It's
No,
okay.
why would you take it from me?
It's okay.
Uh,
I definitely would pull it out of her hand.
yeah. Each of you give me an athletics check.
16.
Oh, a natural 20.
Nice.
Kidding me?
She pulls it back and she's like, "Listen, she should just keep. She feels."
Hey guys, I don't know if you guys remember the last time that one of our teammates was not on the same page with us. And I look at Leto and like looking right at his like shoulder area.
It's looking better now, but yeah. Okay.
You don't, again, Quilathi, you don't feel hostile. You feel lost. Like you're not happy about it, and you like that him trying to take that away from you is like a memento of something that is very dear to you.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
to be fair, we barely know anything about her, and you're trying to wrestle a piece of paper from her. I think it's a little bit different from when Titus went all blasty on Leto.
I mean, we gave the piece of paper to her, and now she's refusing to give it back. And clearly, something came over her when she's looking at this crazy happy face in the bottom of a cultist lair. A little bit more suspicious than that, Zarl'Gug. I think we need to take it a little bit more seriously. Just a little bit more.
Well, Quill, I mean, you came down here for a reason. That's kind of done now. What do you want to do next?
I mean, I'd bury his body, but he doesn't have a body anymore. It's just black squish everywhere.
Here. Let me help. And I'll use mold earth. And I'm gonna like kind of imagine it's a bit like, kitty litter box, where like the sand will go over it and start to absorb like the ichor until there's just kind of like a little sludgy sand ichor spot.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Wait,
No,
would
I
we-
didn't,
better?
I didn't
Would
Is
we
take
that
know
a
which
better?
body she's
memento.
referring to? We wouldn't know which body she was referring to. I'd be like, what? Whose body? Henry's?
You would know. You guys knew. She said, and then you inferred what she said. Of course.
This is the only memento I have of him.
Yeah, those are very. You'll probably remember those, for a long time. That's.
But if I wash my clothes, he'll be gone forever.
Well, you know what? I don't wash my clothes, so this seems great. I always feel like people try to stay too clean, so let's. This seems good. Just don't wash your clothes. We'll be okay. Do you want to maybe go up to get some fresh air to take your mind off this for a little bit?
No, I'm gonna stay here forever.
Right. Okay. Well, look. I'll reach into my bag. I think we got like apples before we left, right? Like one of the people
You
gave
each
us.
have one apple. Yeah.
I'll hand her an apple. Why don't you? You probably get your blood sugar back up anyways, right? Like this is a big fight. Takes a lot out of you. Why don't you quick have a snack? Think about feel sad and eat this apple. I'll
I
hand her an
didn't
apple.
take any injuries because I'm really good. Thanks, though.
About 10 minutes of this goes on, of Quill just inconsolably crying about the loss of the demon. And you've once that 10-minute mark passes, Quill, you find yourself like holy shit, that was over.
Wow. No one's. Why do I have an apple?
I'll just take it back. We're gonna take a bite out of
But
it.
hold out my hand. The paper now.
Why?
Give me the paper.
But you just gave it to me.
Don't just give it back.
But I haven't worked out how it works.
No. We'll
Take
talk.
another bite of the apple,
Don't look at
loudly
Don't-
chewing it in front of her.
Don't look into the paper. Just give the paper back. Just give it back. And I would attempt to forcefully take it from her again. Now I see she's not fighting me for it. I imagine she's just like, why? And I just snatched it out of her hand.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay, so don't look at the face through the paper. Clearly, it had some bad effect over you. This is not good.
It was pretty charming. Yeah, I mean, it was smiling at me. It made me feel happy.
It wants to bring small children here and murder them, possibly. Could be.
No. Then it made me really sad. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Oh yeah.
I might have
we noticed
seen something to that effect.
the tears and the crying and the sniffling and the mucus. We saw it all.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
Which, where was the face? Can you point it? Don't use the paper. Like, where did you see the face on? And I'll walk over and I'll poke the wall.
Yeah, you walk up to it and kind of and Quill is kind of dictating, no, it was right there. Right? So you kind of hone in on specifically where it was.
Left a bit. Your other left.
Oh, okay, sure.
And the same kind of thing. You don't.
Okay.
So, faces on walls. What does that mean? Anyone?
It means it's time to get out of this creepy cultist cave.
Or that we haven't murdered all the cultists that need to be murdered.
You're gonna murder that wall?
If it was a cultist, you're damn right I would. No hesitation.
It had a face.
I don't want to see that face through this paper because I don't want to be crying, sniffling mess over a pile of goo that try to kill us.
Well,
That's a good point.
Just keeping it real, Quill. Keeping it real.
Yeah, so with that, you guys, you make your way together back to the altar. You mess around a little bit back there. You glance around. It appears as though everything that you could do here, short of if you decide to rest, you've done.
could use a drink. Do they have drinks back at the Oasis? I mean, they have water, but I wasn't gonna drink water, so.
Titus the barkeep.
You didn't really do any investigation. There may be booze there.
Well, I'm a little bit weathered. So before we go trekking across the desert, I don't mind taking a short breather here. Take a beat.
Yeah, I could use a little rest.
Yeah.
Cool. Everybody roll hit dice if you're going to do a short rest.
Oh, thank God. Holy shit, that is terrible.
Titus comes down and sings a song of rest. So add a d6.
D6.
Ooh.
Oh, about time I rolled something good.
Holy crap! There's some really crappy rolls, but it's gotten me with I think with Leto's cure wounds that brings me up to almost full.
Nice. Yeah, you
Not
guys sit
quite,
and
almost.
you sit and chat, bind up some of your wounds, and get to know each other a little bit more.
I'm gonna try and get rid of the ichor off my clothes.
She's more concerned. She hasn't been hit, so she's definitely more concerned with trying to clean herself up than the rest of you are, who are bandaging and whatnot.
So from here, I think it leaves us two paths ahead. Either continue down our previous mission, try to find that special painting, get us favor in the city that we came from with Rising Tide, or the bigger concern is there's a group of cultists ritually sacrificing humans all over this place, and this is probably one little splinter cell, and we need to clean up every last one of them and cleanse the world of this evil creation before they bring any. What's this guy's name? Let's flip open the journal. Malcolm, that's his name. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we've been missing from the Rising Tide for a while. We should probably check in with Jasmine, update her. I mean, it's been more than 48 hours that we've been gone without any word, right?
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, we can. It's probably worth getting back regardless. I don't think there was like a timetable on us getting the artifact or getting the paintings. It's just kind of the next thing she thought would be good to do. So I don't think it hurts for us to return. That said, I mean, we are here. We could spend like the morning looking around for there's a building we thought might be a good candidate, and then head back.
Yeah, we crossed paths. We're gonna have to cross past it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to take a little looky-loo.
Yeah.
Sounds
By the way, Quill, I mean, you're very welcome to help us look for some art. We do have to bring it back to town, but I know you got the sales pitch from our friend here. Does that interest you, or do you think now that your business with this lady is done, you're gonna head on out?
I mean, I'm not busy. I'm good at looking for stuff and finding stuff and put it in my pocket. So yeah.
Well,
Will it fit in my
the first
pocket?
two parts, we don't know. We don't really have I think it's more whatever we can get. So we'll see.
Rising Tide could always use a few more solid people.
As in, like, strong?
Quick, good with a bow and arrow. That too.
Because I'm not the first one. I'm not very strong. Quick. Able to fight demons and not get hit.
Shoot people in their eyes and murder them that we are fighting from a distance. I like that.
Yep.
This I like.
So are there going to be eyes that need shooting for art? I'm confused where the sale pitch is going here.
Could be, but in the end, could be reward, could be money, could be things of value with the art. You seem like a woman of culture.
I like things. Yeah.
How do you feel about stuff? Sorry.
Stuff is also good. Yeah.
Free
things and
free
stuff.
room and board. Free room and board.
Where?
Zarl'Gug will tell you about that.
Oh yes, it's a nice building in the middle of nowhere. But there's free food and a free shelter. if you don't, come to think of it, where do you come from? Like one of the nearby towns or something?
North.
Right. So just the north in general.
Well, I don't know how well you know the area.
I mean, if you don't have a home, the Rising Tide could be your home.
I'm not an urchin. I've got a home. I just said north.
Well, Zarl'Gug isn't quite as isn't very sold on promoting the Rising Tide just yet, so he's not going to push too hard. Yeah, it's good money. When the money comes, come to think of it, we haven't been paid yet. Shit.
Well, you guys are not good at selling this.
Listen, the Rising Tide. You need to come with us. Trust me.
Trust you.
Oh yeah. And I hold out my warhammer. You haven't even seen this baby work.
Wait, am I trusting you or are you threatening me? I'm confused.
Oh, it's not.
Knowing Olomaer, it's a little bit of both. Probably. That's Zarl'Gug, by the way.
Just as long as you don't shoot any of our friends here, and I reference Leto and reference Zarl'Gug, just don't shoot them with your arrows. We'll be good.
What if he's a snake and I don't realize he's that snake in particular and I accidentally shoot him?
You see,
fair point.
He does this little thing that we can recognize. Yeah, normal snake wouldn't have this special. I point to the colored scarf that he has. Every animal he switches to
wears a scarf. That's so cool.
It's not so much wearing a scarf; it's the color is in the intricate.
Yeah, I have a so Leto is like a pretty bright indigo scarf. Otherwise, his clothes are pretty similar to yours, just like the color sand. But his scarf is very bright. It's more of a head, a face wrap. And when I was a rattlesnake, there's like a bright indigo streak on right down the center to kind of indicate who he was.
Okay.
Leto is just kind of watching this whole conversation, and he's since brought out his bag of. He's gonna be eating all the time, I think. He's brought out of his bag of locusts and is like eating one. Like hands one over to Zarl'Gug and realize I don't know if you like locusts. I'll offer you like a little cricket.
Yeah, Zarl'Gug just his eyes light up whenever there's food.
Is it a pet?
Just eat one of them.
Oh,
It's a little crunchy.
thanks. Save it for later.
Good idea.
They never go bad.
So before we head up this ladder, my plan of action is to burn this mother down. Any objections?
Whose mother?
This cave, this cultist lair here.
Oh,
Burn this mother down.
Sure, if you can.
And as she says, if you can, I'll produce flame in my hand.
It's he takes challenges very seriously.
If I can. What's the closest thing to me? Little shacks, little tents.
Yeah, there is a lot of flammable things.
Oh yeah, you start lighting shit on fire. I'm starting from the back of the cave and working my way forward, not to surround us and get us trapped in there in the fire. Just lighting stuff.
The platform itself is with the altar on it is wood.
Oh yeah, light that up there. Light that up there first. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna lean over to Leto when he says that and just be like, "Hey, he's one of these kind of people who really likes to please, isn't he? Is that why you tried to kneel earlier for the demon?"
Oh,
As she says, I'm just casting tons of fire. Tons of fire. She said, "Can you?" And I was showing her that I can.
Yeah. throwing fire. And now the entire platform, which covers probably 40 or so feet wide and probably about 10 or 15 feet, maybe 20 feet back, is actively burning. The cave starts to fill with smoke. As you guys make your way over towards the ladder, you see Olomaer is still firing produce flames at the tents, the bedrolls. He sees a set of clothes that's separate from everything else and lights that on fire. Yeah, so you guys start to head up the ladder. So I think
Actually, sorry,
ahead.
if it's all right.
Yeah.
I have some like random cloth probably around here. I would grab the body of Henry and like wrap it up.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. You pull it up. It has there's the same like sort of wound in the chest where the like where the woman was wounded as well. But other than that, it's intact and freshly, you know, freshly gotten.
Yep.
But yeah, you sling him up. No rolls. That's fine.
All right.
But yeah, I think that is as Olomaer is like the last one up the ladder, still like maniacally throwing fire into the already burning
I think
thing.
I think when I get to the top, I'm gonna shout down to him and be like, "Hey, Olo, I'm impressed. Okay, you can stop. I'm impressed. Well done, good boy."
There's like black smoke coming out, and he climbs his way out, just covered in soot, grinning maniacally. Yeah, I think that's a great place to stop for right now. We will pick up next week, and we'll see what happens there. I hope everybody had a really good time. I thought it was a lot of fun. Blue, thank you
It
so
was.
much for on short notice coming through and playing. And
No
we will
worries.
see where this picks up next week. Goodbye, everybody.